Hey y'all, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Yule, Happy Hanukkah, happy all of those things. This video is for my patrons and for all of you who are subscribed to my newsletter. I did the video about cultivating my life, my creative life specifically I think, but we are cultivating our life all the way around. We are about to endeavor to get rid of a mattress and box spring, the one that's in the purple room. And it's old. It's like 20 something years old. It's time to go. And we're going to move the click clack couch futon into there because Victor is really the person who spends the night here the most. For now, that's what we're going to do. Eventually, I'm going to have bunk beds that I have that are antique. They're old oak and they're real bunk beds. I think we may have to build another ladder for that because I don't know if I still have the ladder. But we are going to be doing that. Eventually getting twin mattresses for that and one new box spring. We need one new box spring for it. But eventually we will be doing that. I've been trying to hold on to the click clack couch until I get my writing creative cave cabin because I want that in there. And then that way we can put a bed when or if my mom comes to stay here, when my mom is not as independent as she is right now. My mom has her own bed that she can put in there. So our goal is to rearrange some furniture, get rid of some stuff, along with a few other things. So I made a list of some of the things we're going to be cultivating, some of the things we're going to be doing at the end of this year before the new year even starts. And then some of the things, we have a week and a half left, give or take. And I know Christmas is like right around the corner. And we haven't put our tree up. But we are going to do that because today we are going to do that. But first we have to move some furniture around. Yeah, the tree might end up happening late tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to try to film that. I'm going to try to film the bulk of the stuff. But what we're going to do today is first we're going to do the mattress and box spring and get rid of some trash. And we're going to be moving this big desk out of here. We're going to give that to my daughter, and that little red desk right back here, right there, is going right here, and this craft table is going right here, and then my big real wooden red bookcase is probably going to go right there because I'm going to put the desk right here. The beginning of the year, sometime in January or February, I'm going to get this ring light stand. And in the middle of the ring light, it has a thing for a lightweight camera or webcam. So I can do more live videos. More live journal with me's, more live plan with me's, that kind of stuff. So that I spend less time editing videos. Because that's where the bulk of my time gets spent, is editing videos. So that's one of the things. We're rearranging this room. We're move some things out. Move some things in. And I think it will be a lot better once we get that done. So one of the other things I'm going to be doing is we're going to be rearranging our room. So I'm going to be going through some clothes and shoes and getting rid of some things. Things that I have kept for just in case. Things that I never wear. Things that don't resonate with me anymore. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but I still have some things, like some sweaters. Like I have this one sweater and I love the way that it looks. I love the way that the fabric feels. But the way that they did the arm seams is wacky, and I think even when I lose my weight, it will still be weird feeling. It's uncomfortable. So it's gone. We're actually going to be going through pretty soon all of our kitchen storage containers, like Tupperware kind of stuff. What doesn't have a lid, it's going. What I have a lid to but no container to, those are going. I have went through some of my subscriptions and revamped some things or gotten rid of some things. One of the things I did was with Constant Contact and this newsletter. I talked to them because I hadn't really been using it since September. I think the last time I did a newsletter was in September. And I'm going to be doing newsletters more, but they're not going to be the way that I have been doing them. I'm going to do a post and a video sometimes. Just a post in the actual newsletter and a video for y'all. A lot of the videos that I do for y'all are actually the kind of videos I would do for Patreon. They're more personal, where I talk about things that I don't necessarily talk in public on YouTube. It's just because they're a little bit more personal, and not everybody wants to know that stuff, you know? And then I will probably do one maybe sometimes like every other week where I kind of catch you up on things. I'll put some pictures in there of the artwork and things like journal pages and things like that. So I am revamping the newsletter. I decided to keep it because I got a better price. So as long as I stay under 500 subscribed on my newsletter, and then if I do go above that, because I am growing on YouTube and on Patreon, but it's a slow and steady thing. So when I talked to her, I said, well, when I get above that, she said, well, you know, work out things. So I'm getting rid of some books. A lot of the paperback books that I have, I just don't really have a need for them anymore. And a lot of them I'm never going to read again. So some of them, they're going. I'm going to put them in a box. They're going to get donated. Like I said, we're going to go through some of our furniture. Some of the stuff we're getting rid of. Some of it we're recycling because we're going to be revamping. I'm going to do a lot more DIY stuff next year as well on Patreon and on YouTube. Supplies. You know, there's stuff. I have this big plastic bag right over here that a comforter came in. It has a zipper. And it has a bunch of stuff in it. I don't even remember all the stuff that's in there. I have no idea. But I knew, like, looking at my Christmas stuff that I pulled out, I'm like, I have a lot more Christmas stickers and Christmas paper. Where is all my Christmas stuff? It's probably in one of these 2 or 3 zipper bags that I have, these real big things, from when I moved from the purple room into here. So I'm going to be going through some things and storing things differently and figuring out what I have and how I need to store things and what I'm doing. So I'm going to, over the next month or two, redo my live setup, which is one of the reasons why we're moving some furniture around. And I'm still going to be filming. I have that, but things are going to be changing for the better, I think. Like I said, I'm going to get rid of some of the supplies that I have that I don't use, that don't resonate with me. Some of this stuff is from years ago when I used to really scrapbook. One of the big things that I've, for the most part, let go of this year has been the bulk of this perfectionism thing. I have let a lot of it go. And in doing so, it's actually helped me let go of that comparing yourself to others kind of thing. Because I've been concentrating on my progress and my process. The more that I concentrate on my own process, on what I enjoy about my creative process, my art, my journaling, my planning, the more I concentrate on my own and find better ways to do things, I take a little bit of this and a little bit of that from certain things and certain people, the better I feel and the more my process makes sense to me. One of the other things is I am focused on the progress and the process. It leaves less room for self-doubt, because that's one of the things I've had to really work on. That's why the perfectionism was so for me, is because of the self-doubt and the second guessing. And I'm not doing as much of that anymore at all. And I feel a lot better. That's one of the reasons why, like, for this creative notebook, which is a combination of what I normally omni-journal, like my commonplace, my ideas, my notes, my research, what I do creatively during the day, the week, the year, along with Jamie Ridler's My Studio Yearbook. It's pulling it all together and figuring out something that makes more sense to me, because this is a chronicle of my creative life. Whereas doing the documenting my life and then illustrating my life, I have broken things down a bit, and I'm going to do a video As soon as we get some of this stuff done, I'm going to do a video, because it's going to go up next week, the beginning of the week, probably on Patreon, and at the end of the week on YouTube. I have figured out how I really want to illustrate my day and document my day, and they're different. Because I'm not really going to be doing very much of that in here. A little tiny bit here and there, like a picture here and there, a little doodle here and there. You know, I've done a little bit of stuff in here. It will have a little bit because I am creative and I do art. You know, that's where I did this. I will have it in here a little bit because that's just how I roll. It's my jam. But as I was thinking about what I really want to do, so you can see this is yesterday's page, and I have a quote I want to put right here, and then this is today's page. So I'm not doing to-dos on here really. I'm writing as I do things throughout the day. If I hear something, like for example, I was watching Sam Plans, and she was talking about the Hobonichi and 5 tips for new Hobonichi users. And I wrote in here, it's a really good video. One of the things she said, because at first when she started to try using the Hobonichi, it didn't work for her in the beginning. But she said what helped her figure it out, because she loved the paper in it and everything, was consistency and making it work. Staying with it. And that's been I've had a love-hate relationship on and off with the Hobonichi, because I love the paper, I love the structure for the most part, but journaling every day, I oftentimes need 2 or 3 pages for a day, and the Hobonichi didn't work for me as a journal, but it works really well for me as a planner, especially if I add a collection book into the mix, and I bullet journal in my Hobonichi, and I add a collection notebook where I can do collections, but I'm actually doing the planning in the Hobonichi part. The AVEC works really well. I'm going to, like I said, do a video, and the second channel I'm going to do video on what I'm doing, because things are going to be changing up a little bit for the better, I think. I'm not getting a new notebook because this notebook has all kinds of paper left in it, and it is Tomaway River paper. So I will be doing that video on the second channel very soon. But what I am chronicling, because once I can use the Hobonichi, I'm going to be changing a few things, but I think honestly, because I need more room, this is going to be a little bit different than I think some of this is going to end up in the Hobonichi. But like here, you can tell this is love and this is life, and I did a little bit of, did washi tape and did it. So when I write out things, and I do have pictures, I am chronicling my creative life in here. So when I have ideas for video series or for a video or for something like that, I have a collection for ideas where I can write down the idea, but then I can, when I plan out said things, this is where I'll be planning out said things, and how my creative day went. Whereas in the Hobonichi, the daily page is going to be more of the to-do kind of thing. The actual to-do stuff, like your bullet journal daily log kind of page. Whereas this is going to be the longer hand writing things out and adding a little picture of something, like that kind of thing. I'm going to film as much as I can of the cleaning and purging and rearranging and things in this room. Now I have pulled out some things, so right now it's messier than normal. Well, this kind of looks like normal, but right now the closet and stuff, it's kind of messier than normal because I started pulling out stuff. You're gonna see the midst of the mess because it always gets messier before it gets clean and organized. We'll see. I'm going to film that. I'm going to be doing, I've already done some cleanup in here, and I've got to get going. I've got a lot of work to do, a whole lot of work to do, especially if we want to get our tree up, and especially if we are going to the recycling center, which we really do need to do. Get rid of that mattress and box spring, and hopefully David's co-worker and friend will be here to pick up the stove out of our dining room so I can get it out of my dining room, because it's going. It's going. If I have to take it to donate it myself and nobody ends up with it for free, it's going. I am tired of it being in my dining room. If we don't use the dining room table, it doesn't need to be in there, and we can use that room for something else. I want to use I like to sit down at the dining room table and eat dinner especially when we have Victor or other people in the family over. I really like having a family meal at the dining room table. So, and I have these really cute snowman placemats that go on the table. So I'm excited. I'm going to figure out some things. We're going to be redoing some things, and I need to go clean, and I will see y'all again really soon. Like I said, their newsletter is going to be a little bit different. I think it will be better because you'll get more content along and along rather than one bigger piece of content with a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be doing it little by little, like as time progresses, catching you up on things or letting you know how things went. It will not be as in-depth as what I do on Patreon, but it will kind of be in the middle. People have asked questions, well, how did this go or how did that go? So I can add a little picture here or there and some post, like a blog. It will be kind of like a mini blog post, and then some of them will have videos. So I got a really great deal with that, because otherwise I was going to be canceling Constant Contact. I cut it, I want to say about 75%, so not bad at all. Probably 70%. Today is going to be a good day. The planes are out flying, so sorry for that background noise. And one of the other things before I go, first, and foremost, I want to thank my patrons. Secondly, I want to thank all of you who subscribe to the newsletter. Thank you so much for hanging in there. I've still been getting people subscribing, so I will be doing more. And third, I hit a little bit over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm super excited about that. So my goal for this upcoming year is to hit 5K. Now I have 29 patrons. I'm one away from having 30. That would make things wonderful. 3,000 subscribers on YouTube and 30 patrons. My goal for Patreon for next year is to get 50 patrons. I like the slow and steady growing, and I know that Patreon is not for everybody. So I am still doing content on YouTube. I am still going to continue with the Artist for All series, which I need to film and will probably be doing tomorrow. I think I might film some supply stuff, because art is for everybody, and I want to talk about supplies, because you can do all kinds of things with really inexpensive supplies. And I think what people don't realize is that you can have a really decent brush and decent watercolor, and it makes a big difference when you have a decent brush. And it doesn't have to be super expensive. A decent brush doesn't have to be super expensive. I have these great Winsor & Newton brushes that are wonderful. They work great, and they're way better, than some of these super cheap ones that I first started out with that left pieces of hair everywhere, and I could actually pick them up with a coupon at Michael's, the Winsor & Newton Cotman brushes. So yeah, I'm just gonna, continue to talk about things from a beginner point of view. Like if I were starting, what would I want people to tell me, and kind of go back to some of the things. I think it will be good. And then the longer version of those, or the more in-depth and detailed version of those, will be on Patreon. Because I want to go back to the beginner mindset to have more fun too, and to kind of correct some of the things that I've learned that aren't the right way to do things. Because there are sometimes no right way to do things. It's just your way. And then there are some techniques that you actually need to do the right way. So I'm excited. I'm really excited, because you can add art to your journal pages without being one of those people who does other kinds of art. Just if you're just wanting to doodle and add some art to your art pages, to your journal pages, add some art to your journal pages, little doodles here and there. There's all kinds of different things. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things. I'm excited about that series. What's the other thing? I'm going to start talking more about books, because I have quite a bit of books that I really want to cover. I'm not a big review person, but I do want to cover some of the books that have really impacted me, both fiction and non-fiction, both sort of self-help, self-discovery books, that kind of thing, and then the books that are more art, watercolor, journal, that kind of stuff related. So I'm excited about those, and now I'm just ready to start cleaning. So I'm gonna go. I hope y'all have a good one. The next video you get will be time-lapse version of some of this cleaning and reorganizing and revamping my room, finally in a way that I think really makes sense to me, because we are soon going to be building the bookshelves. For right now, because of the holidays and because of a lot of the other things, we decided to wait to build those until January, because we wanted to get some stuff out of here so we actually have room and can measure things and see what we really want and need first and foremost. So y'all have fun, take care, hope you have a great holiday, and I'll see you again real soon.